I think it's safe to say that with the temperatures dropping, snow cannot be far behind, which begs the question, what about the animals? How do rescues and shelters prepare for the cold weather while keeping their animals safe? Well, the Association to Rescue Kritters, known affectionately to locals and the public as ARK, is one such sanctuary, and it provides a safe place for northern Michigan wildlife to rehab in preparation for being released back into the wild. And we'd like to welcome back to the show Jared and Ruth. Now, could you provide us some insight? How does ARK prepare for the winter months? Because I'm assuming a lot of work needs to be done.
A lot of heated water bowls and heated pans, which we put trouble lights underneath to keep mice thawed, and anything that we can do, tarping the cages on the north and the west sides to cut the wind block, make a wind block, and make it less cold and snowy. So it's there. Each cage has its own preparation. Each species needs different
things. Yeah, I bet.
And we've been doing it for so long that we keep getting smarter and better and learning more. And so it's the whole goal is to make it so they can survive the winter, so we can release them in the spring.
Gotcha. Now, I was lucky enough that I've already gotten to meet this handsome fella who's just crunching away on his biscuits. Tell us a little bit about this groundhog.
This is our ambassador groundhog, Chuck. He came to us this last season as a yearling, so he was an adult already with a broken shoulder. We were able to get x-rays and have it splinted. Because his job is digging, he was not able to be released.
Oh,
and
no.
Also, most groundhogs, 9 out of 10, are very territorial and aggressive.
Really?
Yeah, and he's just not. So that combined with his shoulder injury made him non-releasable.
Gotcha. I'm thinking that as long as you don't try to take his biscuits away from him, he's a happy camper. He looks so content just sitting there eating biscuits out of your hand.
He is such a good little fella. We take him to all sorts of programs, and he just kind of gives people an up-close look. Most people haven't gotten to see a groundhog close up unless they were chasing it off or they hit one in the road.
Or Petoskey Field.
Yeah.
You know. Now, tell us a little bit, 'cause you mentioned he's one of your education ambassadors.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about the ambassador program.
So most of our animals get released back into the wild. However, once in a while, we get animals that are not 100%. And sometimes those animals have a demeanor that allows us to either place them in a zoo or education facility or for our own program, and allows us to give people an up-close look at what humans can cause in our wildlife.
Yeah.
A lot of our animals have broken wings, or they've been affected somehow by humans, and we get to show them a little bit of what they can do to give back, or kind of how cool each individual species is.
A lot of times, it's one of those out of sight, out of mind scenarios. It's very easy to not think about the plight of the groundhog if you've never met someone like Chuck. You meet Chuck and you are going to care about the well-being of groundhogs for the rest of your life, because he's just the goodest little boy.
They actually are responsible for keeping our trees alive.
Yeah.
They aerate the soil, which allows the trees to breathe, and then they also break up the dead roots. Otherwise, our trees would not grow.
Exactly. They are a needed source here in northern Michigan. Now, outside of the prepping for winter, is there anything that is specifically needed by ARK? If the viewers at home, they want to help you kind of get ready to get through those winter months, to get you back to spring, what's needed? How can they help?
We've had people bring acorns, literally almost by the truckload. I mean, because that we use as a food source all winter long. So having people go to the trouble to gather them up and bring them in has been wonderful.
We're always looking for donations so we can feed our animals and pay the bills, and that's basically how we get through the winter. Yep.
Yeah, and it's because we do education programs as part of our fundraising. It's to help us be able to afford to do what we do. But it's donations are never a negative. What if I put it that way? Because there's constantly
Yeah.
expenses,
Of course.
and it's
Most of our patients in the winter have been hit by cars, so
Yeah.
that comes along with medication
A lot of
and
surgery.
surgeries. Yep.
Now, we have less than a minute left together. He has been just munching on biscuits for a solid 7 minutes straight.
So he didn't wake up yesterday.
Oh, he's getting in that time of year.
So he's like, I'm gonna eat, and sleep for 2 days.
How can people get more information on ARK, on all that your great work that you're doing at the sanctuary, but also potentially volunteer their time?
Absolutely.
Where can
They
they
can
go?
reach out to us on Facebook, at ARK Kritters, and then we also have our website, arkkritters.org. They can send us a message, and then we will respond and get back with them.
Perfect. And of course, we are going to make sure that all the links you need to head to ARK's website or to head to their Facebook and meet good little ones like this good boy Chuck here. All this is going to be available after the show today over on 9and10news.com. Jared, Ruth, Chuck, thank you all so much for coming in today.
thank you
for having us.
Always a
very,
pleasure,
very
guys.
much.
Always
we
a pleasure.
appreciate